Hello there, this is James Dooley from James Dooley Hypnotherapy here. Hope you're all well. And tonight's video blog is all about being an individual and the importance of being an individual and preserving your mental well-being as a result of being an individual. Now, this is a subject that's quite close to my heart because I grew up in the East End of London, and it was a place where being just slightly different or having different perceptions of things was frowned upon and deemed upon as being, not the way to go forward. Um, the area that I grew up in was full of thugs and criminals, and I didn't really feel part of that mindset. I wasn't a thug and I wasn't a criminal, and I had to suffer the consequences of that because I always felt like a bit of an outsider. I don't mean like a recluse or anything like that, but I just felt really didn't feel part of that mindset at all. I remember being at school and I came top in a couple of exams, and it was frowned upon. It was sort of looked upon as being look at this big softy here. Um, Basically, he was looked upon as being an idiot, which is quite ironic, really, isn't it? To be frank, you're looked upon as an idiot because you've passed. You've come top in a few exams. But that was the mindset. The mindset was just geared towards ignorance and just basically an enclosed mindset, to be frank. And I never, ever, ever felt part of any of that at all. And as a young man as well, when I was going out, um, you want to get involved in relationships with women, and you want to go out and meet good people and have some fun. It's a vital part of life when you're young, is to have some fun. Enjoy life while you can, so to speak. Although you can enjoy life right through life, it doesn't have to be when you're young. But when you're young, it's like it's vital that you're establishing your psychology, your ego self to be out there in the world and doing things and being positive. But I just found it very, very difficult. I found it a very suffocating environment to be in, being in the East End of London. When I was going out, like I said, it was just meeting the blokes I used to talk to. It was all going on about violence and crime all the time. And then the women you met, they wanted to be with blokes who wanted to be, the local gangsters, the local thugs, the local criminals. They didn't want to be with blokes like me. And I always felt out and limb with it all. And that had a massive, massive impact on my psychology and my mindset and the way I see myself and the way I see my life. So for me personally, and not just for me personally, but for everyone else, if you're in a situation or where you're around people and you feel like you're suffocating in that environment, it's vitally important that you preserve your identity, you preserve who you are as a person. Don't ever cave into peer pressure, because if you do, you will eventually feel the consequences of that in maybe terms of anxiety, stress, low self-esteem, lack of confidence, because you're in an environment where you're not with people that you can really click with, people that you can not share ideas with, people that you can't be true with. You've got to be fake and phony and pretending to be them just so you can fit in and not be out on a limb, so to speak. That can go right across the board. It can happen in a job when you start work, if you're working with people. When I used to work in construction in the 1980s, it was full of sort of blokey stereotypes. It was all about, talking about football and talking about sex. And anything beyond the parameters of that, it was like, well, what's the matter with you then? Who do you think you are? You're getting on your high horse there, aren't you? Or what used to really upset them, if you're sitting in the canteen during your tea break or a dinner break, sitting there reading a book, they used to really upset them. But that's how it is. There's a culture, there's a mindset in everything, in your social life, in your family life, in your work life, where you've got to fit in and be part of that sort of collective mindset. And if it doesn't strike a chord with you and you feel ill at ease with it, and like I said before, if you feel like you're suffocating in that environment, don't ever succumb to any of it. I know it's easier said than done. Obviously, if you've got a job and you feel like you're a bit of an outsider and you don't feel part of the mindset, it's difficult. It's very, very difficult. But at James Dooley Hypnotherapy.com, we are here to help clients overcome these difficulties, to be at peace with yourself, to find out what makes them tick, basically. What do you enjoy in life? What makes you feel good? What sort of people do you want to be around? Do you want to feel empowered? Do you want to feel confident? I mean, you've got to be basically at peace being on your own as well. You've got to be confident enough and love yourself enough to say, I love being in my own company. I'm not saying to be a recluse or anything like that. Not saying that at all. But if you're with people that you've got absolutely zero connection with, being on your own is quite vital. I mean, for me, I had some quite lonely times, and it wasn't easy at all. But what carried me through was engaging with things that I wanted to engage with, things that interested me, rather than things that didn't interest me, just for the sake of not being on my own and going out and this and that and all the rest of it. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, jamesdooleyhypnotherapy.com, we can 100% help a client move forward to be at peace with herself, to be confident, to be moving forward in the right direction, and whatever that direction may be. But it's very, very vital to be an authentic person, to be your real self, rather than a fake charade of being someone else just to fit in and feel like you belong in. Because that eats away at your soul. It really does eat away at your soul massively. And I know that because I had to go through that. I didn't like what was going on in the East End. I mean, when I was a young kid, it wasn't a problem, because when you're a young kid, you're oblivious to life pretty much. You're walking around with your rose-tinted spectacles on, and you're not really seeing the bigger picture. But when I got to about the age of about 13 and 14, it was like, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I can't stand it. And then I started questioning myself, why are you like this? Why are you not like everyone else? Why are you not trying to be, fitting in with the crowd, so to speak? Why are you doing this? You want to belong, you want to be happy, you want to have friends, but you're telling yourself that you can't fit in with these people. But, stepping back and looking back at that time, I was right to have those thoughts and those feelings, because I couldn't relate to their meanness of spirit. I couldn't relate to their ignorant mindset. I couldn't relate to any of it. And I just found it incredibly difficult, very, very difficult. And then when I left all that behind me, I then, went into the world expecting to meet more of the same. At times, I felt like I was a boxer on the ropes with my guard up 24/7, because I just thought that everyone was going to be exactly the same as the people I knew from the East End of London. So being an individual is absolutely vital for your mental well-being. It really is. It will make you feel confident. It will make you feel assured that you are actually being who you are, rather than some fake orientated myth that is created by the people around you. I must belong, I can't be left out. Don't worry about all that. That's nonsense. For your own mental well-being, always be yourself, always be proud of who you are and what you're doing in your life and everything else. Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. Anyway, it's been really great presenting this video blog today about this subject matter. And if any of you have got any questions to ask me, or you feel you want some guidance, or you feel you want some hypnotherapy sessions in relation to this subject matter, then get in contact with me at jamesdooley.com, and we can get back to you and we can arrange for some hypnotherapy sessions to move you forward in the right direction. Or like I said before, if you want any guidance, any questions regarding this subject, I'll gladly get back to you and correspond. Anyway, it's nice talking to you, and I'll see you in the next video blog. Take care, everyone. Cheerio. Bye.